Top of the morning to everybody. Hey, there's my son. Somebody loves you. Okay. We're going to compress some files and send them to DVD Studio Pro 4. This is Compressor 4. I've gone through a run through with Compressor 4 before, so just real quick, you have your inspector on your right, your batch list in the middle, bottom, and your preview window up here on the top, and your settings and locations over on the left. Okay, so you have three up here on the top. You have current, active, and completed. They'll show you the different things that you've done or that you're doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Fletcher Jones show here, and I'm going to drop it here. Now, it comes up with these things automatically because this is how I've set it to be. But these particular settings are for clients, and they contain a watermark, and they will be viewed from the internet rather than viewed on a DVD player. So instead, I've got these two settings up here under Create DVD. I've got Dolby Digital for audio and MPEG-2 for DVD for video. Now I can either grab these two by themselves, or I can grab the entire thing. Now there's a difference between grabbing the two different settings. If I grab the entire thing, it will create the settings, but it also attaches this action that says Create DVD. Okay? And this is very important, because if it creates the DVD, it's going to try to burn the DVD when it's done. Alright, so I'm going to turn that action off to do nothing. Now, let's go ahead and... Okay, now let's go ahead and remove these and try it without grabbing the folder. And you can see it doesn't add that action. Alright, so those are the two differences. Now you can create a DVD and it will burn a DVD, and what will happen is it will just play the DVD. No big deal. You pop it in, it starts playing the video. That's all fine and dandy. But I like to use DVD Studio Pro 4, and the reason is because I have more control over the user experience on the DVD. And I will show you that in a minute. Now, first off, I'm going to show you what it's doing and how it's processing. Okay, it's getting stuck. Now this is kind of what I wanted it to do, because I tried this earlier and it didn't get stuck, and I was kind of bummed, because I wanted to show you something that happens. Okay, what happens is it'll stay in this waiting stage for a long time, and I've had this happen many times. I don't know what causes it, but it is rather annoying because it won't do anything else. If you open up your internet, Safari, whatever, let's go ahead and grab this tab and throw it over here. I'm going to show you what you can find. Mac OS X compressor repair. And you get this link right here from Digital Rebellion. Compressor repair. And you can download this bad boy. It actually will start downloading right away. I have this program already, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. What I will do is show you here. Here's compressor repair. When it comes up, it looks like this. Okay, you can quit compressor and then run it, or you can leave it open and run it. And if you hit repair, you type in your password. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't stop looking. Okay. And it will do all this process, and then it will restart compressor. If you quit compressor, it will not restart compressor. Now here's the interesting part. It shows nothing in any of my files. But if you buy 14 completos, if I go to spot transfers, compressed, in a couple of minutes it'll start showing it up. Okay, so it's finished, and you can see I've got two files here, an AC3 file and an M2V file. So this is my video. Just video, no audio. I want to turn that down so it doesn't go through the mic. And this is the audio. I don't even know if it'll play. Yeah, I don't know that it plays. Okay. I like to have control over my DVDs. I like to customize the menus and all that kind of thing, especially since this is a workplace. We like to have our special logo at the menu, on the menu, and all those types of things. So I use DVD Studio Pro 4 still. You can do DVDs using Final Cut Pro. You can also do them right out of Compressor. I don't prefer that way because I don't have the option of doing this. See this little guy right here? This is my logo. Well, this is my menu. I double click it, it goes into the menu, and I've got the logo in the background. It's faded out for the purpose of putting several buttons on top if I need to. But basically I'm just going to type the name of the object here, or the name of the show. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Okay, we're going to make this smaller. If you hit Command T, you'll get this thing here, so you can make your type smaller. And if you click off, you can go like this and center it. Boom, right there. We'll leave that as play movie. Now I only have one movie in here this time, or at least I'm going to only have one movie in here, but if I didn't, I'd copy this button several times down there. Okay. This is my track. This is the log here. I'm going to go to Assets. Because I double click this, it has a little folder in here named Templates. Come on. And the templates show me my video and my audio. There's actually music to this audio. So if I go like this, now you can see why I use DVD Studio Pro 4 instead of Final Cut Pro. I can't do that in Final Cut Pro as easily. Okay, so I'm going to grab these two items and drop them in here in the Assets folder. And since they are already compressed, there's no compression needed to be done. Instead, if this folder wasn't here, it would create a little PAR folder. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the video and drop it into the video track. And notice it automatically grabs the audio that goes with it. As long as the file names match, it will automatically grab it. If the file names do not match, it will not grab it. Now I like to do this. I like to make my audio language. This is where you pick the language. I like to make it into Spanish. That way, if the DVD player is Spanish by default, it will pick this. If I had an English track, I would put it underneath and pick it as English. But by default, it would pick this. And if the DVD player was set in English, by default, it would pick this. Okay, and then I name the disc. This is Fletcher Jones Toyota Scion 0308 2014. Okay, now we're going to make some connections. This is my track, this is my menu. I want it so that when you click on the play movie, it goes and plays a track. So I come here to Target. Well, first I click on the button, go to Target, go to Tracks, pick my track. I always do this. It doesn't matter which one you use, but if you had several chapters in here, you could pick it to go to the different chapters. It could start on chapter 3 if you wanted it to. Okay, so here, when it's finished, I want it to go back to the menu. So I click on the track, I go to end jump, and I change the end jump. Just like the target from the menu, I change the end jump to menu. Now, if you look here, there's this little icon here. This tells you what's going to play first. So if I right click here and go first play, that little icon moves there. But I want the menu to play first. Okay? Now also, if you notice, it's in widescreen. Before, when I had the new, let's add a new menu. See how it's got the thicker blue on the sides? That's because that's not in widescreen. This is. All right, I'm going to do an SD DVD. Very few people I know use HD DVDs. Our video standard in the United States is NTSC, so I'm going to stick with that. All the rest of this information is pretty standard set. I've already set it a long time ago. I keep the region for anything. It doesn't really matter. It's not like this is going to be shipped out to 10,000 different countries, so I don't worry about it. The track, the resolution is 720 by 480. If I were to change it to HD, this resolution would change. The display mode, pan scan and letterbox is like a midpoint between the two. But pan scan will cut the middle out, or cut the sides off basically, so that it fills the screen. So it makes it look like a full screen. Letterbox will put the black bars on the top and the bottom on a 4:3 monitor, and pan scan and letterbox will do like a midpoint between the two. Okay. Menu, same thing. If you go to menu, you can choose it here as well. We'll do letterbox. All right, now let's go ahead and build and format. I don't use burn because burn allows me to create one disk every time. I don't use build or format. I use the build and format. And the reason I do is because what it's going to do is it's going to do the build process of making the folders. And we're going to put it into a little folder I have over here called DVD builds. And I'm going to create a new folder and call it Fletcher Jones Toyota Scion 0308 2014. I'm going to create that folder and choose it. Now what it will do, oh yeah, in output device I always put hard drive. Now I'm only doing this because this is the way I'm used to doing it. You can directly burn it from here, and since this is only one, I could technically do that, but I want to show you guys how this works and why I do it this way. So I'm going to hit build and format, and it gives me the option to make an image. So I'll give it a name. And I save it in the DVD builds folder. Now it's going to render the menu, and then it will mux the tracks. Okay, it's done. Formatting finished. I'm going to quit this, and I don't save it. I don't need to save it. I did it right. So here's my image. Okay. And now I am going to open up my disk utility. Alright, so here it is. And now I'm just going to burn it here. Now the reason I do this is because if I was making one copy, I can just do it right out of DVD Studio Pro. If I were to make 4 copies out of DVD Studio Pro, it would have to process and build every single time. And that's annoying as heck. So instead, I made the image, and now I can burn it here, and it picks a drive to which it wants to send the file or send the video. But I can actually burn 2 copies at once because I have 2 drives, and I can burn as many copies as I want using this file. I don't have to reprocess anything. Okay, so I'm going to go grab a disk, and I've inserted the disk into the lower drive. It says waiting for drive, and once it figures out that there's a disk in there, it will say ready to burn. Okay, it's ready to burn. I hit burn, and it goes. Now, I don't have to worry. It's not going to have this T in there at all once it's finished burning. It's going to say FJTS 0308 2014 in the same way that it said it when I named the drive in DVD Studio Pro. Okay, the other thing I do myself is I go into this computer with Photoshop, and I print a label. And right now I just have to do this. Once the disc is done burning, all I need to do is go take it over there and print it on the printer. There's a little device that lets me put it right in the printer that I might show you a little bit later. And I can print it, and it will print directly on the disc. I'm going to go ahead and set it up to print. And then when I go over there, I'll show you what I do. Okay, so now we're going to print this disc. This is our printer. And this is a little device I was telling you about that you can put the disc on. Now, I've already sent it to the printer. So the printer is showing these two lights. The green one's telling me it's on and ready to go, and the red one just says, okay, you just need to load some paper. If it's blinking red, it needs to kind of be reset because it thinks it has a paper jam. Not a big deal. Now what we do is you're supposed to insert them until you get to the arrows. Now if you look closely, you can see the two sets of arrows there. And you're supposed to line them up. This printer is a little older though. It likes it better if I push it back there. Okay, so I'm going to push it back there, and then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to hit this little red button, and then I will come back here, and I kind of give it a little bit of a help just to make sure it takes it. Now the printer itself, it actually sees those little white things there, and it figures out, oh okay, this is where it is, and it lines it up according to those white things. And now to start printing the image that I gave it, which is this right here, it'll start printing that on this disc. And then when it's done, I take it off and I wipe down the little tray with a paper towel because otherwise it gets dirty and makes marks on the next disc. And that's it. That's all we do. And then I'll just put it in an envelope and hand it to the client, and that's it. All right. Thanks so much for watching.